Welcome to Capital Factory.
We are glad you could join us here at the Center of Gravity for Entrepreneurship in Texas.
We bring together entrepreneurs, developers, and designers across Texas for meetups, classes, co-working, mentorship, events, and our accelerator program.
At Capital Factory's core, we're all about people and making lasting connections.
We meet the best entrepreneurs in Texas and introduce them to their first investors, employees, mentors, and customers.
We hope that you'll join us again and consider becoming a part of our community.
For more information on becoming a member, head over to join.capitalfactory.com.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Capital Factory online public tour. I am Poppy Briggs. I am going to be hosting this tour as well as bringing on a few people to chat along the way. So let's get started with what to expect out of today. Actually, before I do that, I would love to say, please feel free to utilize the comments section. We want to hear from you, ask us questions, put any kind of comment, send us your LinkedIn or your contact info if you'd like to reach out, if you'd like us to reach out. We would love to connect with you and get you into our Capital Factory community. Okay, so now let's go back to what to expect out of today. We're gonna start off with, I will give a brief overview of Capital Factory and tell you more about our community and what we have going on. Then we have a really great startup joining us today. And they will come for a quick demo, tell you all about their startup, and then hang around for a couple of questions. And then we will wrap up with someone from our memberships team who will come up, tell you a bit more about memberships and co-working, and also hang around for a couple of questions. So let's jump right into the overview. Capital Factory is the center of gravity for entrepreneurs in Texas, the #1 state for startups in the US. Thousands of people, programmers, entrepreneurs, designers gather day and night in person or online for meetups, classes, and co-working. And we have boots on the ground in Austin, Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. We meet the best entrepreneurs in Texas and introduce them to their investors, employees, mentors, and customers. Whether physically in person or virtually online, Capital Factory is absolutely buzzing with energy and activity every day. If you look at our events calendar on any given month, you'll find book signings, hackathons, innovation conferences, and pitch events. We're talking about thousands of participants every month, and most of these events are free and open to the public, and they're streamed online. Women in Tech is a really great example of this and is part of a larger diversity in tech series that we have. And in fact, coming up in April, on the 13th, we have our 3rd annual Black in Tech Summit, which even has a $100,000 investment challenge. Capital Factory is also really all about community. Everyone's here to meet people who can help them on their journey or to help others find their way. We also kick off every morning with a text-based Ask Me Anything session with a mentor or investor in our Slack channel. Anyone in our community can ask questions in real time and anyone else can see the answers. These are some of the most active investors and most successful entrepreneurs in Texas. It's a really great benefit of membership. And so these same mentors and investors also, these same mentors and investors from Ask Us Anything also do regular office hours where they volunteer just a few hours a month. It's really easy for our community members to log in and find people with specific interests or expertise and book a 30-minute meeting. With hundreds of mentors and investors in the network, there are dozens of meetings happening every day. So let's talk co-working. Our co-working space provides desks, offices, conference rooms, and classrooms. It's a really great place to meet people and build connections. Are you hosting a podcast, filming a video? We've got you covered with our fully equipped podcasting and green screen rooms. And at Capital Factory, we like to say that every day is demo day. Maybe it's a local angel investor network or a venture capitalist from out of town Maybe it's one of the Fortune 500 scouts looking for the next big tech, or a government official. We've helped startups get in front of Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, and even former President Barack Obama. And how do we know who to put in front of the president? Well, we look at our Capital Factory venture portfolio. These startups go through an intensive interview and assessment process where they're vetted by our staff and our mentor network. We provide them with a team dedicated to making introductions to investors, matching them with their best mentors, helping them hire talent, and they get exclusive access to events, perks, and more. On the way, we also connect them with members of our Innovation Council that are looking for startups with technology that can help give their companies the big competitive edge. And with that kind of serendipity happening with the Center of Defense Innovation, we're helping startups go after big government contracts and win funding. We're talking about 23,000 square feet of collaborative space with entrepreneurs and government innovators like the Army Applications Lab, AFWorks, DIU, NGA, and the Texas Military Department. And they're all shoulder to shoulder, working together and learning from each other. So now that I've given you a really quick overview of everything happening at Capital Factory, I want to introduce you to a startup from our venture portfolio. Let me pull that up. Today we have Noor Amir from City Guide. Hi, Noor.
Hi, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Great, thank you so much for being here. We're really excited to have you tell everyone a bit more about your startup. So let me pull up your, if you share your screen and just pull up your slides,
Sure.
I will disappear and let you take it away.
All right, let's do it. All right, everybody with me?
Perfect, let me just pull those up and I'm gonna remove myself from the screen. There you go.
Alrighty, well, hi everybody. My name is Noor Amir. I am founder and CEO of City Guide. City Guide is a new smartphone mobile application that brings new advancements and augmented reality technologies to the travel market in an exciting new way. We augment real-life tour guides on the grounds of tourist attractions all over the globe. Here in the photo, you can see an example of our AR Abe Lincoln tour guide popping up at the Lincoln Memorial in DC. So the problem is COVID-19 really exposed the travel experience. Travelers in new cities need access to guidance, and there's multiple ways of getting that guidance. But given how hard this industry has been hit by COVID-19, we believe it really proves that all these options have failed to prepare for the digital future. Let's examine, right? You can hire a private tour guide, but that comes at a premium cost. You can download an audio tour, but many travelers told us they find them a bit one-dimensional and dull. Or you can rely on a host of different apps to get around, right? You could have TripAdvisor for recommendations, Google Maps for navigations, or travel blogs and websites for actual information about the locations when you're on site. But that's just not convenient or effective. Given the need to reach new audiences in the travel industry, we believe we need to embrace new technologies to address these challenges. So what does the solution look like, right? It looks a little like City Guide. It's a face-to-face tour guide experience. It's always accessible, it's affordable, but best of all, it's always right in your own pocket. No matter, you can travel at your own leisure, and no matter when you get to your destination, you'll get there knowing that our tour guides will be waiting to show you around. This is the market we're entering. It is a $320 billion student/budget travel market that we're focusing on first, but there's also a couple other markets that make sense to highlight here to show how big the opportunity is. There's a $135 billion tour guide market. There's $124 million in guidebook sales within the USA alone. And there's an estimated $700 million audio guide market in the US alone as well. And COVID-19 has really only accelerated the adoption of these digital trends within the market. So why now? There's three main points that we like to highlight here. One, there's a coming technological revolution, and it's called augmented reality. Every major big name in tech is investing billions into this technology because they truly believe it is going to change the way the world interacts with information. That is going to affect every major industry, and the travel industry is no different, so we need to prepare. Point two, as we mentioned, COVID-19's impact on the travel industry has brought lots of challenges, especially startups like ours, but it's also bringing opportunities. People have never been more willing to embrace new technologies, such as VR and AR, to scratch that travel itch. Third, there's a new kind of traveler in town, right? Millennials and Gen Z have proven time and time again, they are digital first human beings, right? They crave digital interactions, and there's no reason to believe the tour guide interaction would be any different. So this is a quick summary of our business model. It relies primarily on creating custom AR-sponsored tour content for clients such as museums, hotel chains, airlines, schools, city municipalities, etc. And we charge directly for those services. But secondary, we're also building a tour guide marketplace where tour guides who have seen their businesses really hurt due to COVID can create digital versions of their city tours and market directly to their clients. And then City Guide just takes a small percentage of those sales. And a third revenue source that we're hoping to get into here in 2021 is location-based AR advertisements. That's estimated to be a $2.6 billion market by 2022 alone. This is a summary of some of our attractions. So we're really excited about launching our first city pilot program alongside the Ministry of Tourism in Portugal. We're really going to be able to get City Guide in the hands of travelers and start collecting some of the initial data and feedback. But separate to that, we're also building our first AR school orientation campus tour, where the tour guide is familiar to the students. It's their own school mascot. And we're also building a custom package for Spirit Airlines. We've been featured on a host of different organizations you can see here on the right, including being included in FocusWire's top hottest 25 startups to watch in 2021. And this is a quick summary of our team. Again, my name is Naor Amir. I spent many years working at companies like Magically and Facebook, helping build the world's future augmented reality glasses systems. My co-founder is named Pauline Fetter. She is a travel industry professional with over 30 years experience in the business. She's worked at companies like Amadeus, South African Airways, Frosh, and we also have a team of developers that help us on the software side of things. This is a quick summary of our mentors, which we'd just like to highlight briefly. Two are actually local to Texas, Dirk and Sebastian, who's also part of the Capital Factory program. And to conclude, guys, City Guide is the 21st century way to travel. You can try it now and give us your thoughts. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Noor.
Thank you.
Great to learn about that. I can't wait to go back out there and travel as soon as it's safe for us to get out there.
Absolutely. I think everyone wants to get out.
All right. So do we have any questions for Noor about his startup and the City Guide app? I would love to know, I don't think you mentioned it. I know it's an app, and you're out and about and you're all over the world. Do you need to have Wi-Fi to activate the tours?
Yeah, so that's a great question. That's one of the initial challenges when we thought about it. I've been a traveler myself, and that was the first big challenge that we kind of tried to address. And the way we chose to do that is by basically allowing the option to pre-download the tour before you leave, right? So when you're at the hotel or the hostel and you're connected to Wi-Fi, you can download the city that you're in. You can get all the main attractions. You can download it, store it in memory. That way, we only have to pull it out of memory when the traveler is on location. That way, you don't need to waste your data and you don't need to, kill your battery life streaming out there.
Got it. Got it. And do you have to have the app to get these tours?
At the moment, yes. Everything goes through the app just because the experience is a little bit better when we're talking about AR. But there's recently been some advancements in what we call web-based AR, and we're definitely working on incorporating that. Basically, that looks like just a link or a QR code on site that you can scan and open up a browser that will, substitute the tour guide experience instead of an app.
Got it. Perfect. And is this your first startup?
Yes, it is. This is my first startup. Absolutely.
Great, great. And have you been utilizing, the mentor network at Capital Factory?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like we said, Sebastian is actually a member of the program and a startup founder himself, and he's been instrumental in helping us kind of navigate the travel world. I kind of come from the tech side of things, so getting better acquainted with people in the industry has really helped us, prepare as we entered the travel business.
And it looks like we have a question. Can someone create a library of their exploration to share with their friends who want to visit the city at another time?
So that's an interesting question. Not at the moment. I think there's functionalities that we do want to get into the app, and that is absolutely one of them, sharing your experiences and recommending tour guides. And if you've done an AR tour with said tour guide, we want to be able to have that review link directly to your friends when they're on the app. So those are all in the feature set that we're hoping to get into in 2021 and kind of into 2022.
Got it. Okay, that would be exciting. And then it looks like we have a question from Jill. What was the impact of COVID-19 on the company?
That was a big impact. Yeah, as you guys can imagine, marketing we released publicly at the beginning of 2020. So you can imagine marketing a travel app when everyone's afraid to leave their house due to a global pandemic isn't the easiest sale, to say the least. So we did see some challenges with user acquisition and getting this into the hands of people. But on the flip side, we also saw opportunities, and that reflects from starting to reach out to tour guides and kind of hearing their story about how things were going with COVID, and they were just so dramatically impacted by business drying up nearly overnight that they were much more open than perhaps they would have been if they're out selling tours every day to adopt new technologies. And they were very interested in seeing what we have to offer with a digital tour, especially because it takes a couple of hours, maybe one day, to film their city tour, and then they can sell it multiple times. There's never they can never sell out of those tours, and they can make passive income. So we saw a lot of adoption by the content creator side. So that was a positive.
Okay, fantastic. And it looks like we have a question about what's your favorite place to travel, and any recommendations from that place?
My favorite place personally has been Vietnam. I love Vietnam. A very amazing mix of new culture, adventurous locations. The people are just amazing. Great food. If you ever get the chance, that's number one on my list. I'm really hoping to get back there once this whole COVID thing goes away.
Absolutely. Yes. No, I would definitely love to go to Vietnam. I have a friend that lives there, but the pandemic has slowed me down a little bit.
You'll get there.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us and hanging around for a couple of questions. It was great to hear more about City Guide, and can't wait to use it in the future.
Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely give it a try and let us know.
All right. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. So that was Noor Amir with City Guide. Please check it out and look for upcoming tours on the app. And now I would like to bring up Jill Klimbex, our venture principal here at Capital Factory. Wanted to introduce her and have her talk a little bit about what she does at Capital Factory. Jill, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us this morning for one of our virtual tours. I can't wait to have these back in person. It's always so awesome to see the faces of everyone coming through. But as Poppy said, I am the venture principal here at Capital Factory, so I work a lot with our startups in a few different capacities. So, one is meeting the companies, seeing what they're working on, and seeing if it's a good fit for Capital Factory to engage. And if it is, we'll work on the process of perhaps bringing them to our advisory services, what we call Capital Factory Ventures, or perhaps even look at making investments through our fund. We recently just launched our 7th fund. It's called the Texas Fund, and you can find more information about it on capitalfactory.fund. And what's really cool about it is that we can now actually share this with people and talk about it, whereas before this was all kind of kept behind closed doors. You weren't really able, legally to talk about the fund, but you guys can see all about it on capitalfactory.fund and even participate if some of you guys are investors. But that's what I do at Capital Factory, working primarily with our startups and our investors for the fund.
All right. Thank you so much, Jill, for coming up and introducing yourself. And you said capitalfactory.fund to learn more about the fund?
Correct.
All right. So feel free to check that out or reach out to us and we can have Jill answer any additional questions. She'll be hanging around below if you want to put any questions in the comments. She'll be happy to answer them as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Jill. All right. And now, as I mentioned earlier, I am going to bring up someone from our memberships team, Bobby Struzik, to tell you all about memberships and co-working. Here he is. Hi, Bobby.
Good morning, Poppy. How are you today?
Great. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to tell people about Capital Factory memberships. So for those of you looking to get involved with Capital Factory, or you have an organization or a business you'd like to get into our ecosystem, we have a number of membership options that are available. So if you'd like to be contacted by us, you can drop in your LinkedIn, your Twitter handle, your email address into the chat, and I'd be happy to reach out to you. But the question that we receive most often from people that are coming to Capital Factory is, in a post-pandemic world, what does a membership look like? So due to the pandemic this year, we obviously had to create a virtual option for our members to give them the experience of being a Capital Factory member, all of that in a virtual world. So everything that we have at Capital Factory, whether it's our mentorship, our various perks, our Slack channels, and our great events, those are all offered to you as a virtual community membership, which goes month to month for $199 per month. And it is a great way to get involved in our ecosystem and our networks. And you don't have to be based in Austin or Houston or Dallas or San Antonio. You can be in El Paso or San Diego or London or Delhi or the North Pole. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be here at Capital Factory and you can be making great connections and getting involved in our network. We still have coworking available for those that are interested in doing so. If you get your vaccination, you can come on in and feel free to do so. Coworking is open in the Austin area. We have coworking and dedicated desks and offices. And so everything that we have here at Capital Factory is available. And I would love to speak to anyone that has any interest in that. And I will also drop in my meeting link into the YouTube chat for any of those that would be interested in booking a meeting with me. And if you have, I know that was a real quick overview, but if you have any questions or want to know more about Capital Factory membership, feel free to drop a comment into the chat and I'd be happy to answer it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit. I'd love to learn a little bit more about the space. And I know you mentioned we can co-work in Austin. Do we have other spaces in Texas?
We currently do not. So we are only operating co-working space out of Austin currently. So that is the only place where we can offer co-working membership now. So before the pandemic, we were averaging about 500 to 1,000 people into the space every single day, which is not really a density that we can sustain right now. And we are still operating under the CDC guidelines of 25% occupancy. These days, we are averaging about 50 to 60 people into the co-working space every single day. So for those of you that are looking to potentially have a quiet place to work, that is an opportunity for you to have like a little oasis away from your home if you're trying to get away from the various distractions that take place there. And we're also seeing a significant uptick recently in the requests for co-working. So pretty soon Capital Factory is going to be that buzzing place that everyone knows that it has been. And we're very excited to have that place back. The vaccine rollout, I got vaccinated yesterday. I'm very excited about how that's going. So we're very optimistic about what's going to be happening in our future.
Fantastic. And can you talk a little bit more about the co-working space and the kind of different types of desks? And there are offices, as I mentioned earlier?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate?
Yes. Okay. So there's kind of 3 levels of co-working membership at Capital Factory. The first is your general 24 hours a day, 7 days a week co-working access. All of our membership options are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So general co-working, we have the 1st, the 5th, and the 8th floor of the building downtown. And so you can come in, there's tables, there are couches to work on. There's even a treadmill desk that you can use. So you can come in at any point and be able to work. That one goes for $375 per month. One step up from there, we have our dedicated desk portion, which you can kind of imagine it like a bullpen. You know, if you're working in a newsroom, that's kind of how you would imagine it. Those dedicated desks go for $500 per month, and that is your desk, your filing cabinet, your area with your name on it. No one else can use that space. And that kind of provides a little bit of security for those that are looking to have a place to store some materials or just have a place that they know that they can call their own. And from then on up from there, we have our offices that are available. And now, keeping our startup mindset in mind, you know, we usually offer those to our startups at Capital Factory, and we have anywhere between 3 to 5 to 8 to 12 person offices. And those are a little bit more of an extra discussion in terms of, you know, getting you involved with the office space, but they are available and we'd be happy to show you the space.
All right, fantastic. And can you tell me about your favorite part of Capital Factory, your favorite perk of membership?
Oh, gosh. You know, I will say that it is just a general feeling of community that I truly love. And so I was an individual that was affected by the pandemic this last year. I was working in tourism and got laid off. And so I spent some time unemployed and trying to figure out how to navigate the waters of getting a job again, and getting involved here in Capital Factory and being involved in a network of people that just truly want to help you. And I have a great great mentality, and everyone is so intelligent and clever and just has these wonderful, wonderful ideas in terms of their businesses. It's truly this authentic ecosystem of real collaboration that I find truly special. And it's something that when I wake up every single morning, I pop out of bed just ready to figure out what ideas I'm going to be shared with today. And it is truly a joy to be a part of that ecosystem.
Well, thank you very much. And I would say that definitely the community is fantastic. And I particularly love our mentor network. I see we actually have one of our mentor coordinators, Tori. She is the mentor coordinator in Houston. She is hanging out in the chat. So if anybody has any kind of follow-up questions about mentors, she is in there. I'm happy to answer questions. We can drop the link for the mentor application if you want to learn more about possibly becoming a mentor. We can also add that. I will add that to the chat in a few minutes. And we have hundreds of mentors to choose from, as I mentioned in my overview, and everyone is here. Becoming a mentor they're really here to help you. That's the whole point of signing up. They know that that's what they want to do, and they give their time. They volunteer their time to do that, and everybody's just been so incredible. So I love signing up for office hours to meet those mentors, and I know people will too when they sign up to a Capital Factory membership.
Yeah, absolutely. And those mentor office hours are really great. It's really a one-on-one time, 30 minutes of, really one-on-one time that you have with that person. Like that is so special, especially with some of these heavy hitters that are involved in Capital Factory. And, some of these guys, their background is just so impressive, and just the opportunity to speak to them for 30 minutes, it's your time with them, and you can speak to them about your concerns and your issues, and they are engaged and in tune with you. And that is a special thing that I've been able to take advantage of a couple of them myself, and that's been a great opportunity.
Right. And we have mentors in all different types of backgrounds, so you can really find anyone. There's definitely one for your interests or your startup, and we'll be happy to help you and jump right in. So with that said, we'll see if there are any other questions jumping in the comment section, but you can reach out to Bobby. He's going to drop his information in the chat, or you can go to, you can email memberships@Capital Factory, and he will be happy to set up a meeting with you or answer any additional questions about memberships and co-working. And he's going to drop that in.
Yes, I'm dropping it in, right?
Perfect. So we'll hang around for a couple more minutes while he does that. But otherwise, this is our Capital Factory online public tour. Thank you so much for joining us today. We will be back again next Tuesday at 9:45 with a new startup demo and different members of our team to introduce themselves. And Bobby will probably be back to talk more about memberships.
Absolutely. I'll be there.
All right. So thank you to everyone. Nora Amir with City Guide, and Jill Klimbex, our adventure principal, and Bobby from our memberships team for joining us today. And I am Poppy Briggs, and I will see you all next week. Take care.
Bye-bye.